Miro versus Hobbs. It was another big man fight in the vein of Samoa Joe and Shane Taylor, but both these guys, honestly, look better and are physically and are more mobile than Taylor was.
Plus the crowd helped make this.
Well, plus the crowd knows who they are, and Miro has more experience. So, nevertheless, punches, kicks, and clotheslines were the order of the day. And they had a slobber knocker, and it was serious and it was stiff, and they worked hard, and the people were with it. As I recall, Hobbs is the heel, and Miro's the babyface, but you can't tell either by the match they had or their appearance, but they just fought each other. And Hobbs took another great bump over the top rope, different kind of way than he did on television. But there were great pops for the big spine busters and the big power moves, and people got into it. And I must admit, it was much better than I was afraid it was going to be with two big smash mouth guys. It might be awkward or clumsy or whatever, but this was a good fight that the people liked. And I swear to God, they almost had it. And then Hobbs goes for the camel clutch, which Miro calls the Redeemer. He was going to give him his own finish, but Miro slipped out of it and got his own. And he had cranked back once, and then Hobbs is still green. And so I don't fault him, but it was just unfortunate. When Miro cranked up the first time, he's got it, and you saw Hobbs's hand go up. He was going to tap. But Miro didn't want him to tap so quick. He wanted to keep it on the big man for a minute. So you see him put Hobbs's hand back down like, not now. And then he had it for a second. And as Miro goes to adjust his grip to really do the crank back, Hobbs put his hand up there and tapped again. So he tapped on the guy when he was adjusting the hold. And I was like, oh, man. You know, Hobbs is going to be great. This is the best he's had a chance to be. I think in terms of the longest match with, motivation and an angle behind it. But he's still a little green, and there was a mistiming there. And I don't even know if you saw that, but that's the first thing I saw.
What was the first thing you saw?
There was, not the first thing, it was the last thing because it was the finish. But the first thing I saw about the finish was it was obvious to me that Hobbs was trying to tap too quick and tapped on Miro when he was adjusting the hold, not even when he was cranking it.
Yeah.
That kind of flattened me.
I thought it was a good match, though. And again, the crowd, although I wouldn't be sitting there chanting meat or whatever the fuck.
They were going slap meat or chop meat or beat meat or something of that nature.
It's one of those things where you can't tell if they're even reacting to the specific wrestlers or the match, more just like they've decided this is their thing. They're going to cheer meat tonight. But good, I'm happy they didn't have QT out there with Hobbs. That's a big positive.
Aha, that was a plus. I didn't miss him in more ways than one.
And then Lana coming out, or CJ, with her own Titantron.
Well, I was going to get to that in a second.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Well, it was just after the match. That's what we were commenting on. They had it all the way till then. And then they shook hands. And I'm thinking, well, what the? And then Miro goes to leave and Hobbs jumps him from behind. So now we know who the heel is. He's getting some heat. But then he gets on Miro and he was punching the ground beside Miro's head. Did you see that? That hurt my feelings.
I saw.
It was not good. And as big, as impressive as he is and as he looks, he's got to do. If he can't throw a punch, don't get down on the guy and throw him. Level the fucking guy and then drop an elbow or pick him up and slam him or put him over the ropes and choke him with a maniacal look. But don't throw phony punches if you're a 300-pound guy and you hit like a girl, or don't hit at all. But anyway, that's when music played and on the screen popped up the words hot and flexible. And I know Miro in the promos has talked about his goddamn double-jointed wife. But she's not ever appeared on this program. This was a surprise. She's running in to save her husband from something that, if this was a shoot, she wouldn't have known was going to happen. But she took time to have her goddamn hot and flexible graphic queued up on the Titantron and music. And when she came out, she posed for the people while her husband was getting assassinated. And then she charges to the ring and gets a chair and slides in the ring. And I'm thinking, oh my God, certainly to God, he's not going to sell this. And he didn't. She hits Hobbs with the chair across the back. And he stands up and turns around and snatches the chair away from her. And then he stares at her, and she's kind of backing up, but really they're not really moving. And he stares at her for so fucking long, it gets phony. And then Miro picks up the chair and hits him in the back. He should have snatched her. He doesn't have to hit her, but he should have snatched her. Can you imagine the ooh when that fucking 300-pound giant muscle-bound monster snatches that goddamn 120-pound little 5-foot-tall girl by the hair and just draws back? Everybody, and then he gets hit by the chair. But standing there, it just made him look stupid. Because I'm sorry, if a woman hits me with a chair, I'm punching her in the fucking face. Sorry. I'll apologize now. But anyway, then Miro hit him with the chair over the head, and Powerhouse bailed out. And then Miro, everybody's cheering, thinking they're going to hug. And Miro looks at his wife and gets mad at her and leaves. So now he's mad at her. He's not mad at God anymore. He's mad at his wife for saving his ass when he was getting his ass kicked. And his wife, by the way, doesn't have a name yet because the other one was trademarked. So, good match. And then what the fuck is this angle? Is this going to be more of this weird psychological shit where he's mad at his wife because she's double jointed and saved him and made him sad? I don't know what the fuck. What would this be about?
Oh, I don't know, and I don't think anyone else does. I just want to see Miro kick ass and have kick ass matches, but he keeps going back to this fight with God and dark rooms and light rooms that he's broadcasting his promos from, and now hot and flexible. A surprise run-in to save her husband after shaking the hand of Powerhouse Hobbs. Hobbs surprisingly turned on him. Little did he know that Lana was prepared with Titantron. She comes out there, she has music. She has a screen. She's wearing an outfit. If I was going to go save someone in a fight, that's not the outfit I'd be wearing. I wouldn't have done the thing where Hobbs went to hit her. I think that's a step too far in 2023. You get in trouble.
Well, then don't do it at all. Don't have a 120-pound woman hit a fucking 300-pound guy with a chair if you don't want the 300-pound guy to do what he would naturally really do if it really happened.
I think it's one thing if Hobbs had a woman in his corner who, as soon as Lana came in the room with the chair, they can go at it. But I agree with you on that. She shouldn't have done that. And then, again, we're teasing now the Miro-Lana feud. Can't wait to see that match. Clearly, she's afraid of nothing. She ran in there to tap
and screaming
Hobbs.
like, you turn around, you son of a bitch. You're going to do nothing and like it, Missy.
It's interesting, though. The fans there knew who she was. You know, the fans there knew who she was off being on WWE TV a few years ago. I don't know if the roles were reversed, if a WWE fan would recognize someone from AEW that had been in a similar position.
I would bet money that you're correct about that as well.